Hey everyone, welcome to what's happening in real estate this week. I've got Conrad Zurini here with REMAX Escarpment, REMAX Niagara, big broker of Ontario, and Brian Hogben, Mission 35 Mortgages. He's also a big broker, and myself, Rob Golfi with REMAX Escarpment, the Golfi team. Guys, a couple of big things happened this week. I'm going to talk about uh, what's on the table for the USA is that they are looking at the 50-year mortgage.
Yeah.
Now, like, okay, I get it. Basically, now you're just renting your own house out. That's what I think will happen. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? I think it's a good thing for investors, you know?
Yeah, I think it depends on who it gets rolled out to, right? Like you can have, I think it's a good idea for people to get into the right place for a homeowner, but if you give it to everybody, it's kind of like that 30-year mortgage now. 50% of the people are using it for cheaper payments. 50% of the people actually need it, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to get the people that don't actually need a 50-year that'll say, I'll take a 50-year. And I think that's where you'll run into the, like you said, I'm not a negative equity position, but you'll run into it's where you're not building up the equity because you're paying a ton of interest on a 50-year mortgage.
Well, on a 800, I think I was calculating. I think it's on a 816 or 870,000 or $817,000 loan. You will end up paying $1 million more from I think the 30 to the 50 year on interest.
You'll pay a lot more. Well, and the difference isn't that much. I did it on a $750,000 mortgage. You're looking about a difference of about $700. It's not nothing like between 30 years and 50 years, but
no, but the total interest you're paying.
Oh yeah. This is on a monthly though. Just on a monthly, you're about $700 cheaper. So yeah, that could get you into the market, right? But it's
how do you get out?
Away with something in the middle.
But how do you get out? You'll have no equity to move on, right? That's the other problem. I do like it, but you know what? They're going on the premise that eventually maybe your income will get a little higher and you'll get a little bit of a better position. But it is something, and that stat you said, even at your conference, Rob, the Sagent guy said the same thing. A lot of people didn't need the 30-year AM. They just did it for cash flow so they can go for dinner. You know what I mean? Save some cash for coffees and lattes, which makes no sense to me, right? Because you want to pay this down and you don't want to box yourself in. Look, this is definitely a demand side thing. So again, it's not a supply side issue. It's demand side. If this helps with demand, gets people in, I'm for it. But I think the long-term effects, the people won't be able to get out. They're not going to be able to get out. And you know what I find interesting is the guy from Sagen also said that in some areas, 40% of the money came from family. So I want to see these guys that say, you know what, they didn't really earn the money. They got the money gifted to them. And they're thinking like, wow, do I really have to pay this thing off? I'll go 30 year. I want to know the guys that got gifted the money. Did they go 30 year and they could afford 25? That's what I want to know, because sometimes you get some money and you lose all sight of what the money is all about. And look, it's more interest, blah, blah, blah. And you have less equity built up. So I wonder what people's mindsets are.
Do you think if they did start this thing, it'd be hard to take it away? Do you think?
Well, they started like in 2007, we had 40-year mortgages for a hot minute right before the global financial crisis. And you know what? We did see an enormous lift in 2009, 10, 11, 12, but there were virtually no 40-year amortization defaults to speak of. Mind you, we did have crazy lift at that time, but it got taken out because of the U.S. and what was happening in the United States. But there was a huge uptick of people taking 40-year mortgages for that year.
Wow.
Don't you? Well, I was just going to say quickly, because there's nobody has like the 2021 buyers, that 2 million mortgages that are going to get renewed next year. Those guys probably would love some relief. Again, they're going to be paying higher if they bought in 2021. They're going to look for that cash flow relief too. They'll be kind of interesting, and they have no equity to refinance. That's the other goofball part.
So maybe,
I think everybody would use it then. Like I agree to your point there, but then it's one of those things. The people that need it would take it, but then the people that don't need it will take it, and then you have everybody taking it.
Maybe they should just open it up for the people that need to refinance because of the people that bought in 2021 and the first part of 2022. get them to say, hey, listen, we're going to give relief. Like, it's only going to be that 1.8 million people that need the help. A lot of people don't need it, but you're right. There's almost 2 million mortgages due next year. And you're going to find that, like with the way things are going now, inventory, there could be an abundance of inventory next year. Prior to the mortgages, they're saying, hey, listen, I can't handle it. Thank God they actually curved down a bit. Can you imagine if they're getting mortgages at 6-7%, they'd be dead in the water. But do you think it'll increase prices of homes if they did and brought that in? You think it just like, I mean, right now the market's not doing anything, even if they brought 50-year mortgages. You think that would?
I don't think so, and I think we didn't see this big uptick when CMHC went from 1 million to 1.5 million. I expected we were down actually 20% in that 1 million to 1.5 million in 2025 versus 2024. We were down in that price point. You thought that everybody would kind of reach up and start to do it, but it didn't do anything. This is a real mindset thing. And look, if they said to me that excess money that you're saving, if you put 50% towards some sort of debt, I'd be all over it, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, because we're like, it's $1. I don't know what $1.87 for every dollar we take in. We're $1 for dollar. GDP of debt and GDP is equal to $1. The U.S. is 75 cents, and the Eurozone it's 50 cents. So I think we got to start to reward people to pay down some of this debt, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
I think you're going to see. I think this could have a compound effect. Because like you have all these little ones, to your point, Conrad, that didn't have a big effect. The 1 to 1.5 marginal, 30-year amortizations marginal. If you increase the amortization, marginal. But when you put certainty back into the marketplace, that could be a pending tsunami then of everybody taking advantage of it. Because right now we have low confidence. People don't have confidence.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter how much you adjust these levers. They're still thinking, I don't know what's going to happen, so I'm not going to use it anyways. We have to be careful what we implement.
Excellent. As an investor, would you use it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, cash flow. We did it with our apartment. We're 50-year AM. That's the only reason we could do such a thing, and it still doesn't cash flow to the degree people think it does. But yeah, I think investors, because you know what, that tsunami. You're so right, Brian. I feel if we get a little bit of confidence in the market and you have all these tools in the toolbox, look out. Look out, man. I'll tell you. Then it's like, wow, they'll take advantage of it all at once.
But do you think Canada will look at this 50-year, or do you think it's just talk in the U.S.? I
think they wouldn't jump to 50. I think if anything, like we've crept back up, like we just went 25 to 30. If anything, you might see a 30 to 35 again, or a 35, maybe even 40. But I'd be shocked to see the do a 10 or 15-year amortization jump to 50. We're more conservative. 5 years, maybe. It depends on where we land in the next quarter. If another rate drop comes, do we get the certainty? Maybe, but not 50. No,
there's nobody else in the world that's doing anywhere near 50. There's I think usually the standard is 20, 25, 30 years is pretty well the limit that most countries are doing. But 50 years, I looked it up. I didn't see any anywhere in the world that showed that 50-year amortization exists anywhere.
Oh, I thought they were doing it in like Hong Kong or places like that, but I'm not sure. I haven't done a mortgage there in a long time, so I'd have to check.
If you look at the U.S., they've had 30-year mortgages forever. You saw that since what was it, Truman? No, who was it? That the president that brought it in. Anyway, it hasn't. You haven't seen a rise in prices of homes to the degree in Canada, especially in Ontario. When you think Ontario, holy moly, there's not a place in North America like Ontario, like an aggregate area. There's not a state that saw that kind of increase. Florida, Texas, nobody. It didn't, like, the 30 years been around. It's just kind of grown incrementally, just nice growth, right?
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I've got Carney's first budget. Key points. I wrote some key points on it. 51 billion local infrastructure fund. Now, the one thing that gets me here is boost. What is it? what is it? The military. He's looking at.
Yeah.
Is that because he's
the NATO numbers? Yeah, he's got it to be compliant with NATO, and then it's kind of like quid pro quo. If you pay,
it, oh,
so and it's going to make Trump happy. Air quotes.
Right.
Like,
you think Trump probably said, "Hey, listen, you're gonna have to spend some money on that. Otherwise, we're not gonna talk anymore."
Yep.
So, but there wasn't really anything crazy in regards to with housing or anything like that. What is it? Infrastructure, reduced immigration targets, increased military spending. They have to do that. Shrinking the federal public service. Yeah, they probably got a lot of people that are making money that not doing anything there. Boosting CBC Radio Canada funding by 150 million. So I don't know. I mean, I've been I keep reading in the paper every other day, home crisis, everything like that, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen. I did a little TikTok and Instagram video. I literally, Conrad, I know you read all the papers, and Brian, I know you read some papers, not all.
Yeah, some. Yeah.
He reads his own book. He reads
Great stuff. Great stuff.
Are you making a third book on mortgages?
Yeah. Third one.
I gotta write a book.
Got it.
Anyway,
and you know what? I will say though, just on that, I got this from Conrad though. When you legitimately write, it forces you to research. Like you can take the shitty route and chat GPT it, but if you actually research it, you learn so much. And I know, Conrad, when you do your blog, you research, right?
Yeah.
Heavy.
You can use the AI as a tool for like ideas, but if you rob yourself from the research, you're robbing yourself. Like it's good. It's good knowledge to get. So anyways.
Are we gonna see you on one of the talk shows in the United States or Canada? You know, talking about the book on mortgages.
All of them. Me and Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey, he's waiting for me to finish. He's already got a seat for me. It's coming.
We're gonna Bloomberg TV. We're gonna do Bloomberg TV. Okay,
we'll be doing the road show.
That's it. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys being on. I know with this 50-year mortgages, I doubt we'll see that. Not that we want it, but I know CMHC does it for the developers when they're building big, huge apartment buildings. Stuff like that. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, guys, I appreciate your time. Thanks, and everybody else, thanks for listening. And see us next week on what's happening in real estate this week. Take care, guys.
Great. Thank you. Thanks, Rob. Thanks.